Discreet signs. She's had many partners. What to notice? Have you ever wondered if she's being completely honest with you? Trust is essential in any relationship, but sometimes subtle signs can give us a clearer picture of what's really happening. Today we'll explore some discreet clues that could indicate a woman may be juggling multiple partners. Stick around, because these signs could shed light on things you may have missed. What truly makes a relationship work in the modern world? Most people think honesty is the key, but there's another factor we often overlook: the unspoken actions that she might be unknowingly showing. Have you noticed her becoming more secretive with her phone, or always rushing off to spontaneous plans? You'll definitely want to learn these signs to protect your feelings. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Have you ever felt left out when she gets secretive with her phone? In a relationship, silence can sometimes reveal more than we think. In today's video, we'll explore subtle signs that you might have missed, but they hold valuable insights about your relationship. Now, let's get started and uncover these signs together. Sign number 1, increased privacy with her phone. Has she become unusually secretive with her phone? Perhaps she hides it when you walk by, or maybe she keeps it face down when you're around. These small changes in behavior could be clues that she's trying to keep her conversations private, perhaps because there are others involved. As Seneca wisely said, "A wise man will never be an expert on anything but his own self." This teaches us the importance of understanding our own feelings. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Talk to her about it. Transparency is key in any relationship, especially in the digital age, where how we interact with technology often reveals a lot about us. If she's frequently changing passwords or always using her phone in another room, this could suggest that she's hiding something. While privacy is essential, excessive secrecy can create problems in a relationship. Epictetus also said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Instead of jumping to conclusions, approach the situation calmly. You might say, "I've noticed that you're more private with your phone recently, and it's making me feel distant. Would you like to talk about it?" This invites open communication and demonstrates that you're paying attention without accusing her. A strong relationship thrives on trust and transparency. Sign number 2, changes in availability. Now let's talk about availability. Is she always busy, or does she have last-minute plans that you're not included in? While everyone has their own life outside of relationships, if she's hard to spend quality time with, it could be a sign that she's juggling more than one relationship. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you feel sidelined, focus on your response. Rather than jumping to conclusions, express your feelings. For example, you might say, "I've noticed we've not been able to spend much time together lately, and it's making me feel a little distant." This opens up the space for a real conversation about your feelings. Juggling multiple relationships requires good time management, which can lead to unpredictable availability. If she's often canceling plans or disappearing for spontaneous activities, it's worth discussing these concerns openly. Stay tuned as we uncover more subtle signs that can help you understand the true dynamics of your relationship. Honest communication and being aware of these signs will help you build trust and keep things transparent as you continue navigating your connection with her. Picking up from the last section, we talked about the importance of communicating your feelings openly and addressing any concerns you might have about her availability. Now let's move on to another subtle sign that might indicate changes in your relationship. Sign number 3, a sudden change in appearance. Have you noticed her putting more effort into her appearance lately? Is she wearing different clothes, changing her hairstyle, or applying more makeup than usual? At first glance, this might raise some concerns, but let's pause for a moment before jumping to conclusions. Wanting to look good for yourself is natural, but if the change seems aimed at impressing others, it might leave you feeling uneasy. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Impediment advances action, obstacles become paths." Rather than letting these changes worry you, use it as an opportunity to talk about how you both express yourselves in the relationship. It's completely normal to feel curiosity, uncertainty, or concern when your partner suddenly invests more time and effort in their appearance. So who is she dressing up for? But before you jump to any conclusions, remember that change isn't always a bad thing. Personalities and styles evolve over time, and it's part of growing and self-expression. However, if her change seems sudden or disproportionate, it's worth exploring why it's happening. As Seneca said, the greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. Instead of letting your doubts fester, have an open discussion. For instance, you could say, "I've noticed you've been changing up your look lately, and I think you look great. What sparked this change?" This way, you're sharing your feelings, but also acknowledging her efforts. You're not accusing her of anything. Instead, you're opening up a space for her to share her perspective. She might be going through a phase of self-discovery, or maybe she's simply feeling empowered. It doesn't necessarily mean she's dating someone else. Change can be empowering, but if her newfound look is followed by a shift in her attitude, less affection, or fewer shared moments, it could point to something deeper. Take a moment to think about the context of the change. Is it something you've seen happening gradually, or did it come out of nowhere? Honest, open communication is key here. If her new appearance is making you feel neglected or uneasy, it's important to address it directly rather than letting those feelings grow. Remember, Marcus Aurelius said, "Trials can help couples and individuals flourish." So use this opportunity to strengthen your bond through understanding and communication. After all, a healthy relationship thrives on transparency and the ability to work through any changes together. As we move forward, let's explore the next subtle sign that can give us more clarity on the dynamics of your relationship. Keep in mind that addressing these concerns early on with open communication is essential for maintaining trust and connection. Continuing from the previous discussion, we've seen how understanding changes in appearance or habits can open the door to deeper conversations. Now let's shift gears and explore another subtle sign that might raise questions in your relationship. Sign number 4, unusual texting habits. Have you noticed any strange patterns in how often she texts? Does she frequently send messages late, at night, or early in the morning? If she's texting someone regularly but refuses to say who it is, it could be a red flag. In relationships, openness is key to building trust. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Instead of letting your mind run wild with assumptions about her texting habits, it's important to talk openly with her. When you see her on her phone during times you used to spend together, you might start to feel suspicious. Constant texting, especially late at night, can lead to questions about who she's communicating with. Texting can represent a variety of things: friendships, work, or personal interests. However, when concealment starts to play a role, it can cause unnecessary concerns. Epictetus wisely remarked, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." If you focus too much on the mysterious behavior, you might miss out on an opportunity for open communication. Instead of getting carried away with possibilities, approach the situation calmly. Ask her directly about her late-night texting, like this: "I've noticed you've been really active on your phone late at night. Everything okay?" By doing this, you show concern for her well-being rather than jumping to conclusions. It's possible her texting is completely innocent. Maybe she's catching up with friends, family, or co-workers. Understanding the context is essential. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Before making assumptions, prioritize clarity and information. If she becomes defensive or avoids the conversation altogether, it may be worth delving deeper. Transparency is critical in any relationship, and if she refuses to say who she's talking to, it could indicate there's something hidden. Approach this conversation carefully, as trust is fragile. How you handle this topic might affect the course of your relationship. An open and honest discussion can help establish trust and intimacy. By addressing your worries directly, you provide a safe space for her to share her thoughts and feelings, which can only strengthen your connection. Sign number 5. Mysterious plans. Now, let's talk about something that can stir up confusion. Vague or mysterious plans. Does she often mention plans with friends, but never extends an invitation for you to join? Or perhaps she never provides any details? Everyone needs their own space, but consistent secrecy around plans could suggest that there's more to these friend outings than she's letting on. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." If you feel anxious or uncomfortable with her lack of transparency, take a moment to relax and think about the situation reasonably. It's understandable to feel uneasy when your partner's plans remain unclear. Lack of clarity about your partner's intentions can create insecurity, confusion, and doubt. When you hear her talk about outings with friends but never mention who they are or when they happen, it might make you reconsider the nature of those friendships. Seneca's words ring true here. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Without clear communication and mutual understanding, no matter how smooth the relationship seems, things can quickly veer off course. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into these signs and how to handle them with care and wisdom, continuing to build a relationship based on mutual trust and respect. So stay with us as we explore more subtle yet important signs that can reveal the true dynamics of your relationship. Building on the idea of understanding and communication, let's now dive into another subtle sign that could affect your relationship: mysterious plans. If you've noticed any signs of secrecy or a lack of transparency in your partner's plans, it's crucial to address these issues early before they spiral out of control. Knowing each other's positions is vital in relationships. If her mysterious plans leave you feeling left out or uncertain, don't let this tension simmer. Address it directly and calmly. Instead of jumping to conclusions, start by saying, "I've noticed you've been spending a lot of time with your friends, but I'd love to know more about your activities. Not having details makes me feel distant." This approach shows that you want to connect while also respecting her need for personal space. She may simply enjoy time with her friends and might not realize that her secrecy is affecting you. After, all friendships outside of a romantic relationship are important for bonding, support, and mutual interests. However, if she continually keeps you in the dark about her plans, it could be a sign of something deeper, perhaps a closer relationship. With someone else, Epictetus emphasized the importance of self-mastery. Instead of immediately assuming the worst, focus on your own feelings and needs. By calmly discussing your concerns, you'll improve the conversation and better understand each other's perspectives. Openness in a relationship is shown by her willingness to share and respond positively to your inquiry. If she becomes defensive or evasive, it might signal that there's something she's hiding. Trust your gut and always prioritize your own mental and emotional well-being. Effective communication and trust are the cornerstones of any healthy relationship. By addressing issues early and fostering an environment of openness, both partners can express their needs and feelings freely. This not only strengthens the connection, but also promotes understanding and respect. Sign number 6. Changes in intimacy. Let's now talk about intimacy. Whether it's an increase or a decrease, changes in intimacy can indicate something deeper is at play. If you've noticed shifts in how she engages with you, physically or emotionally, it might be a sign that her emotional energy is being divided across multiple relationships. This can often be the case when someone is involved with more than one partner. According to Marcus Aurelius, you control your mind, not outside events. This reminder teaches us the importance of focusing on how we react to changes, rather than getting swept away by external circumstances. If you've noticed a shift in intimacy, take a step back and reflect on your feelings. What are you feeling and why? This self-awareness will give you the clarity you need to approach the situation thoughtfully. Her behavior may appear distant. Perhaps she's pulling away during intimate moments or showing less physical affection. This might feel like rejection, but it's important to understand that it doesn't necessarily reflect your relationship or your worth. Her emotional energy may be stretched thin, and it's crucial to recognize that these changes in intimacy could be signs of external distractions. However, if she becomes more affectionate or tries to initiate intimacy in different ways, this might make you question her intentions. Is she trying to reconnect or compensate for emotional distance? Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Before assuming that any shift in intimacy is linked to your feelings, reflect on your emotions and try to understand the root cause. Having an honest conversation is crucial in such situations. You might say something like, "I've noticed changes in our intimacy, and I'd like to talk about them. Understanding where we stand is really important to me." This approach creates an open space for her to share her thoughts without feeling blamed. Remember, intimacy is not just about physical closeness, but also about emotional connection. If she's overwhelmed by other relationships or life's pressures, she might struggle to connect on a deeper level. In such cases, it's important to remind her that your relationship is a safe space where feelings and vulnerabilities can be shared openly. When she feels safe and supported, she may be more open to adjusting her behavior, which could ultimately strengthen your emotional and physical connection. Now that we've explored changes in intimacy and the importance of open communication, let's continue by delving into the next subtle sign that could affect the trust and dynamics of your relationship. Stay tuned as we uncover more about the deeper layers of your connection with her. Picking up from our discussion about changes in intimacy, we've explored how open and honest communication can strengthen your connection. Now, let's move on to another crucial aspect of understanding your partner. Sign number 7, trust your gut. The final sign that you should always pay attention to is your intuition. Don't dismiss that nagging feeling of unease when something just doesn't feel right. Often, your gut instincts reveal more than you realize. Seneca once said, "The mind is a place unto itself, and in it can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven." This reminds us that our thoughts shape our reality, and when something feels off, it's important to reflect and take action. Your instincts might be picking up on subtle cues that your conscious mind hasn't fully processed yet. If something feels strange, like a shift in her behavior, a lack of transparency, or unexplained distance, don't ignore it. Even if you can't pinpoint the exact cause, it often comes from subconscious observations. Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Negative thoughts can cloud your judgment and lead to unnecessary worry. Instead, use your intuition to guide you toward opening up a conversation. Trust your feelings and be upfront about them. For example, you might say something like, "I can't shake this feeling that something's off between us, and I'd like to talk about it." This allows you to be vulnerable and honest without placing blame. It's important to approach these conversations with an open heart, seeking to understand rather than accuse. When you approach your partner with curiosity rather than suspicion, it opens the door for a more productive conversation. Epictetus once said, "It is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them." This means your emotional reaction is shaped by how you interpret her actions. A clear and open discussion about how you feel will help both of you understand each other better and clarify any misunderstandings. Unresolved gut feelings can lead to mistrust, and without open communication, resentment can build up. But when you trust your intuition and have an honest conversation about your concerns, you give the relationship the chance to thrive. Trusting your gut doesn't mean jumping to conclusions. It's about acknowledging your feelings and using them as a way to strengthen the bond with your partner. Face your feelings head on and be honest with yourself and your partner about your needs. Whether your gut feeling brings confidence or pushes you into difficult conversations, addressing it will help build a stronger, more resilient relationship. So, these are 7 subtle signs that could indicate she might be seeing multiple people. While these signals may raise questions or concerns, the key takeaway is to approach the situation with empathy and openness. Each relationship is unique, and understanding each other's perspectives can make all the difference in strengthening your connection. If you enjoyed this video and want to dive deeper into relationship dynamics and personal development, don't forget to subscribe. Let's explore and connect more. Until next time.